أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
طيب, Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Amma ba'd, we continue with Surat Al-Haqqah, and we're up to verse number 13. We spoke last week about the introduction of it. We spoke about Al-Haqqah, he's talking about the Day of Judgment, and we spoke about the people of Thamud and the people of Ad, and how they were destroyed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And these stories are not mentioned for no reason, but for us to pay heed and to understand that these people existed. They were strong, they thought themselves safe, they had security in their houses and the like, but they disobeyed their prophets and they were threatened with destruction, and Allah Azza wa Jalla followed through with that destruction. This point is very important for us nowadays, especially when we speak about the Western world in general, because the Western world, it has marketed itself as being the absolute best and pinnacle of society, pinnacle of civilizations. No one understands better or lives better than the Western world currently does. This is how it markets itself. And you have fi'lan people from all around the world through globalization, people all around the world wanting to imitate the West and follow the Western ways, whether it's matters to do with the economy, like a complete capitalist market, or it's matters to do with the rights of individuals, the rights of the man and the rights of mainly the woman, or it's how we should live in terms of lifestyle, how we split up our work, our study, our leisure and the like. This is marketed as if it is the best of the best. But just like Allah Azza wa Jalla tells about people of old, in order for us to study them and to learn from them, and Allah points out their mistakes so we don't fall into those mistakes, this is something that we should also make sure that we know about the modern Western world. What are the flaws and the faults of modern Western civilization? Because this is promoted to all of the world, not just limited to the Muslims, even the non-Muslim countries. But they're not Western nations, it's promoted to them. And people are following blindly because they think this is the best way to live. But if you were to look at any type of metric that measures happiness, health, goodness, you will find that there are extreme flaws in Western society. And for those that have grown up here or those that have lived long enough in Australia, because we're talking about this particular example, let alone other places, those that have lived long enough will see that if you actually study it, there are major problems, which means there needs to be major changes. And if you disregard those changes, then yes, you remain oblivious and you think this is the best of the best. Look, Allah Barak, everyone has a house, everyone is safe, everyone is living comfortably, move on with your life. But that's not the case. That's not the case at all. If you were to scratch the surface just a little bit and to see the broken homes, people being born out of wedlock, people addicted to drugs and alcohol, people losing their incomes to gambling, people not being able to afford the cost of living, these are major issues. Major issues. If you were to go and expand a little bit further, go to a place like America, on average, over one mass shooting per day. Over one mass shooting per day. Someone walking into a school, into a workplace, someone into a shopping center, and literally just shooting up the place. If this was to happen in any third world country, people would be so quick to point out how ridiculous and stupid this is. And it happens in America. You know, the peak nation on the face of the earth, as it likes to promote itself. But because it's marketed so well, these things are always ignored. These things are always pushed to the side. We need to say, see, something is wrong. That's not normal. You should not be living in a country where there is one mass shooting minimum per day. That's a problem. In terms of, for example, their army. They talk about their army and their soldiers and then. How many veterans kill themselves every single day? There's a problem there. When you talk about your army and how much you look after your army and your soldiers, and every time someone comes back, thank you for your service, etc., etc., etc. I can't forget the number now, I think it was 8, but I can't remember exactly. Multiple people are killing themselves every single day, according to your statistics. That's an issue. There's a problem there. For us here in Australia, the lucky country as they call it, to have everything around us, for people to be killing themselves daily is a problem. Not people with extreme life-threatening injuries or extreme illnesses where they're debilitated. No, people that, khalas, they don't want to live anymore. What caused that to happen? There's an issue there. For old men and women to rot away in their houses when no one knows that they passed away except through an extremely foul stench that the neighbors knew of and smelled and couldn't put up with anymore, made someone finally go check, and they seen as an old man and lady, they died months ago and no one knew about it. And no one would have known about it. Where's her children? Where's her grandchildren? Where are her nieces and nephews? Where are people to look after them? Where are the neighbors to knock on the door? I haven't seen this person come out in a long time. Where are these people? These are major issues. Yes, 100%. If you go to other countries around the world, they have issues. But we also have issues. We also have issues. You go to some other place in the world, there are some freedoms we have here that they don't have over there. But there are major issues that we have here that they don't have over there. And if you were to assess which of the two that you would prefer, you're not always going to choose the Australian issues. I'm not saying this to say Australia or the Western world, all of it is bad. No, that's completely wrong. We as Muslims are just. We see the good and we see the bad. And we take the good and we leave the bad. But at the same time, we need to understand that globally, this agenda is pushed on nations. Pushed on nations. And you have people, because of movies and music and the like, they're just accepting this Western lifestyle, hook, line, sinker, without thinking of the consequences. And this is a major issue that unfortunately we at least, we can be aware of, and we can call those that we know here in Australia and also those overseas to be wary of. That which is good, that which is positive, take. Of course, the Prophet ﷺ himself took off the disbelievers that which was good. But that which is wrong, that which is problematic, that which is against our religion, or that which has proven itself that it doesn't work, we also need to be aware of. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He continues from verse 13, and now He's going to speak about the Day of Judgment. Allah says, فَإِذَا نُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ نَفْخَةٌ وَاحِدَةٌ. Then when the trumpet will be blown with one blowing. On the Day of Judgment, the beginning is with the blowing of the trumpet. This is when the Day of Judgment will start, and this is when all of the major events, the destruction of the earth, etc., this is when all of these events take place. And then you have another blowing of the trumpet, which is when everyone will be resurrected. This blowing of the trumpet is by a set angel. Most of you know his name. His name is Israfil. Very good. His sole job and duty is to be prepared for when the command comes for him to blow the trumpet. The Prophet ﷺ described the trumpet as being like a horn, being like the horn of an animal. And this is traditionally how they used to make trumpets anyway. So Israfil, he is prepared for when this time comes. Does anyone know when the Day of Judgment is? No. The major wisdom for not knowing when the Day of Judgment is so that you are always in a state of preparation. Just like you don't know when your time of death will be. You don't know if you're going to die young, old. You don't know if you're going to die in a car accident, in your sleep. You don't know. You have no idea when your death will be. So you should always be in a state where you are ready for death. The Day of Judgment, you don't know when it is going to be. So you should be in a state of readiness for the Day of Judgment. Allah Azza wa Jal, after mentioning the stories of old, He's reminding you to be prepared. Don't be like these people. These people were playing, living, and then the end came. Don't be like them. Be a person who's prepared, so that if your end comes, when the Day of Judgment ultimately will come, you are prepared. You are from those who are successful. And that's why after talking about the Day of Judgment, Allah mentions the two parties on that day. وَحُمِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ وَالْجِبَالُ فَدُكَّتَ دَكَّةً وَاحِدَةً. And the earth and the mountains shall be removed from their places and crushed with a single crushing. Things will be destroyed. Things on the Day of Judgment will be destroyed. Will the believers live to see this destruction? Yes or no? Why? Good, because there will be no more Muslims at the time when things become so bad that the Day of Judgment actually happens. How do the believers pass away? The soft wind that comes and takes the souls of the believer. This is a major sign from the signs of the Day of Judgment, until only the people of evil are left. We spoke about this for those that remember in the Journey to the Hereafter series. People like Allahumma barik, our three, the musketeers, the three musketeers, subhanAllah, completely lost me. Our three musketeers, Allahumma barik, who attended at least the majority of it, Tabarakallah, on the day of judgment, you will have, yes, the destruction. But the believers won't live to see that. A wind will come. And in this time, from when the soul of the believers is taken through the soft wind and to the actual destruction of the world itself, only the evilest of people exists. And so the narrations that you hear about the destruction of the Kaaba, etc., many of the ulama said it's in this period, in the time where there's no more Muslims. That's why Mecca and Medina, that's why they abandoned, because there's no more believers. That's why someone can go and destroy the Kaaba, because there are no more Muslims there. Why are there no more Muslims there? Because they have been removed from this earth. Another benefit from this is Allah Azza wa Jalla showing, oh human beings, you're not stronger than the mountains. You're not stronger than the earth. If the mountains and the earth, they're going to be destroyed in one crushing, what do you think is going to happen to you? How do you think your destruction is going to be? You're much weaker than that. Make sure you pay attention. فَيَوْمَئِذٍ وَقَعَتِ الْوَاقِعَةِ. Then on that day, the great event shall happen. Al-Waqi'ah, the great event will happen, meaning the day of judgment itself. And this is another name for the day of judgment, which we mentioned at the beginning of the surah, the beginning of the chapter, that there are multiple names for the day of judgment mentioned here. When شَقَّتِ السَّمَاءُ فَهِيَ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَاهِيَةٌ, and the heavens will split asunder for that day, it, meaning the heavens, will be frail, they will be weak, and they will be torn up. وَالْمَلَكُ عَلَىٰ أَرْجَائِهَا وَيَحْمِلُ عَرْشَ رَبِّكَ فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ ثَمَانِيَةٌ. And the angels on that day will be in all parts of the world. On that day, yani when the day of judgment is happening, and the angels come down as a command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will be in all places. You, O human beings, are nothing. You, O human beings, are nothing. You're weak, you're frail. If we're going to destroy the universe, imagine what we're going to be able to do to you. Not only you, there's another creation stronger than you. There's another creation stronger than you. You think you can be a person that can stand up to Allah Azza wa Jal and He's doing His command? You can't. On top of Allah Azza wa Jal's command and power Himself, which is enough, there are also angels, and these angels will surround every place. They will be in all parts of the world. And the angels, there will be 8 of them holding the throne of your Lord. Some ulama said it is 8 angels only. It is 8 angels only. Some of the ulama said it is 8 rows of angels. It is 8 rows of angels. Either way, Allahu Alam, the Prophet ﷺ, he gave us a description of one of the angels. Who knows the description? The Prophet ﷺ gave us a description, and he said regarding the earlobe to the shoulder of one of these angels is the distance of a bird flying 500 years. Yani whether it's 8 or whether it's 8 or it's 8 rows, just the fact that the angel, just one angel, that's their description. That's their description. Imagine the rest of the angel. And if the angel is like that, imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how great Allah Azza wa Jal is. Yes, you won't know 100%, but at least you can have some sort of an understanding of the greatness of these angels, let alone Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again, belittling to you a human being. And you're nothing. You're nothing. يَوْمَئِذٍ تُرَدُونَ لَا تَخْفَى مِنْكُمْ خَافِيَةٌ. Why should you be worried about this day of judgment? O believers and O disbelievers. All of this is going to happen. The world's going to be destroyed. For what reason? What's the benefit? What's the harm? What's the issue? Why should I pay attention? Why does it matter to me personally? And remember when we said when you're giving da'wah, when we spoke in the last surah about this, when you're giving da'wah, make sure you make the person understand why it's important for them. Why they need to be a believer, why they need to be upright, why they need to be righteous, why they need to repent from their sins. Because if a person lives their life thinking, okay, so what? What's the issue? What's the harm? What's the relevance? Then they won't follow. It's not personable. But after mentioning what happened from the people before you and mentioning what will happen in the future regarding the judgment, now allow the people to understand why it's important for them to pay attention. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, that day shall you be brought to judgment, not a secret of you will be hidden. That day you're going to be placed in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're going to be held accountable in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. And on that day, nothing you do can be kept a secret. Nothing you do will be kept a secret. None of that which is good, nor that which is evil and corrupt. You are going to be held accountable. If you are a believer and you prepared for that day, no problem. You're going to be okay, inshallah. But if you are a disbeliever, even if you didn't care, you knew, you didn't worry, you thought yourself powerful, whatever it is, Habibi, it's going to happen to you. Have you prepared? The possibility for the disbelievers, the possibility of there being life after death should make them think. Just the possibility. There may be life after death. Let me research. Let me look into what life is. Let me look into the purpose of life. Let me look into whether there's a reality to it or not. This is why the disbelievers are punished. They had the opportunity to learn. They didn't bother with it. They didn't want it. They didn't care. Imagine a person living 50, 60, 70 years. Imagine how many opportunities they have to learn. Now, you went to work because you knew I needed to live. You got a tertiary education because you knew I wanted to advance in life. You went from kindergarten to year 12 or kindergarten to year 10. You know basics. You're not a stupid person. You have a brain. You have logic. You have intellect. You have rationale. Even if it's at a very small level. You have the ability to ask questions. If you think maybe there's life after death, you should research. You should research. If there's a chance that there's a life after death, I should research. How am I going to prepare? If there's life after death, what do I need to do to be successful? What do I need to do to be happy? In this dunya, you're doing what you need. In this dunya, you're doing that which is necessary in order for you to live a comfortable, good life, a happier life, to look after your family, etc. So you know in this dunya, you need to do what is necessary to look after yourself. If there's a chance that there's a hereafter, do you not think that you should prepare for that day? Do you not think you should do research into seeing how to be successful on that day? يومئذ تُعْرَضُونَ لَا تَخْفَى مِنكُمْ خَافِيَةٌ. You think you can keep anything secret? You're not going to be able to keep anything secret, including your disbelief on that day. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابُهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَيَقُولُ هَاؤُمُ اقْرَءُوا كِتَابِيَهْ. As for the one who was given his book in his right hand, and these are only the believers. As for the one who will be given his book in his right hand, he will say, take, look, read. Come read my book. Look, he's calling the people. Come and look. اقرأوا كتابية. Come and read my book. Why? Because he's happy. He's happy. This is an Islamically allowable pride. He done something good. He achieved something great. He's successful on the day of the greatest test ever. Look at my results. You know, a person that do good, Allah Barik, in their HSC or the university exams, or they do a competition, and you know, football, soccer, martial arts, whatever it may be, and they become first, they're happy. They put it online and they want to show everyone, look at the results I got. Look at where I came. Look at my name being mentioned. Look at this gold medal. Look at where I came on the podium, etc. Look at my rankings. They want people to see it. It's a means of happiness for them. This is the greatest test a person will ever have. The test of Iman. So when he gets the news that he passed, which is him getting his book in his right hand, he wants everyone to see. Come and read, come and see my book. Did he only think about it that day? No. He prepared. إِنِّي ظَنَنْتُ أَنِّي مُلَاقٍ حِسَابِيَ. إِنِّي ظَنَنْتُ أَنِّي مُلَاقٍ حِسَابِيَ. Surely I did believe that I shall meet my account. Dhan, when it's mentioned in the Quran regarding the believers, this is talking about yaqeen. Dhan in the Arabic language, it's you got levels of knowledge. One is shak. Shak is you're not sure. Maybe, maybe not. Dhan, probably, but you're not 100% sure. Then you got yaqeen, al-alam, where you're 100% sure. Okay? Is it going to rain tomorrow? أظن أنه لا. I think it's not going to. Okay? Did it rain today? No, it didn't. You got yaqeen it didn't rain today. Why? Because you're sure of it. Now, when Allah Azza wa Jalla talks about dhan with the believers, matters of Iman, and he used the word dhan, the context here is yaqeen, not doubt. Now, as for the disbelievers, when they mention in the Quran with dhan, then this is for doubt. This is for doubt. إِنِّي ظَنَنْتُ أَنِّي مُلَاقٍ حِسَابِيَ. Verily, I knew that I was going to make my account. I knew the day of judgment was coming. Tayyib, the person that has yaqeen that the day of judgment is coming, what does he do? He prepares for it. He prepares for it. So this person wasn't just successful on the day of judgment because of some lucky draw that his name got picked out of. No. He knew there was a day of judgment because Allah told him so. And he believed in Allah. So that part of that belief is that he put in action. He put in action to do good and to stay away from bad in order for him to be successful on that day. فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. So he shall be in a life well-pleasing. Khalas. The fact that you passed your test on the day of judgment, now on the day of judgment you're going to be entered into paradise. And in the paradise you're going to be living an extraordinary life. The only way to summarize the belief and the happiness in Jannah, for me that I can easily do inshallah, is to tell you, think of the happiest time you've had in this dunya. Think of the happiest time, the happiest you've been, the happiest place, the happiest event that happened. How happy were you? It's more than that. It's more than that. Not only it's more than that, it's everlasting. Not only it's everlasting, it gets better. That's the only way I can summarize it. It could be the birth of your children. It could be the day you became a millionaire. It could be the day you were driving a Ferrari. It could be the day you won a gold medal in a sport. Whatever the happiest day for you was, or the happiest time for you was, imagine that better. Not only better, everlasting. It won't stop. That moment stopped for you. Because that's the reality of this dunya. You're up and then you're down. You get happy and then that happiness goes. No, that happiness in the hereafter, it will last forever. No sadness, no hunger, no problems, no anything negative is gone. It's non-existent. It doesn't exist in Jannah. Not only does that happiness and goodness stay, but it only gets better. It only gets better for you. So this is عيشة راضية في جنة عالية, in a lofty, high place in paradise. قطوفها دانية. Allah gives you an example. Just an example of the goodness there. The fruits in the paradise are low. They are low hanging. Why? So there's no hardship for you. You don't see a high fruit and think, I would love that, but I can't get up there. Who's going to do it for me? Who's going to climb up? Go get a ladder. A whole wish. No. It's there. It's soft. It's there. It's soft for you. Take it. Eat it. Enjoy it. The looks of it, the naming of it, is like what we had in this dunya. But the taste is different. The taste is different. You know, on like a day where someone gets for you nice fresh fruit and you eat it. Wallah, our taste buds have been corrupted through chocolate and lollies. Naam. But even then, it can't compare with fruit. Doesn't matter what your favorite fruit is. Whether you're a person that likes pomegranate, you're a person that likes mangoes, you're a person that likes mandarin, whatever your favorite fruit is. When you eat it and you enjoy it, how do you feel? I'm talking about a day where you actually loved it. It was special. Imagine that. Again, better, everlasting, in Jannah. Your hands don't get sticky. You don't have to, and you can eat as much as you want. You don't get diabetes. Amazing. Amazing what's going to happen in Jannah. But it's so good we can't comprehend, because the human brain, it only comprehends what it has available for information for it to process. Otherwise, you can't process it. That's why you only have instances in this dunya that will assist you in understanding the akhirah. As for its reality, you will never be able to understand it. You will never be able to understand its reality. But even the fruits in Jannah are low hanging for you, so that there is no hardship. كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا هَنِيئًا بِمَا أَسْلَفْتُمْ فِي الْأَيَّامِ الْخَالِيَةِ. Eat and drink at ease for that which you have sent on before you in days past. كُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا, it will be told to you, eat and drink. هَنِيئًا, enjoy with full comfort. Don't feel embarrassed. This is all for you. For what reason? بِمَا أَسْلَفْتُمْ فِي الْأَيَّامِ الْخَالِيَةِ. Because of what you put forward, because of what you done in your previous days, yani when you were alive. بِمَا أَسْلَفْتُمْ, this refers to your a'mal. Your a'mal. We have the hadith that none of us went to Jannah except through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Correct? How do you combine the two Islamic evidences? You have an ayah telling you that you're going to go into Jannah and be rewarded because of your a'mal. But the Quran tells you that you're not going to enter Jannah except through Allah's rahmah. How does that happen? طيب عندنا دخول الجنة بالأعمال وعندنا دخول الجنة برحمة الله عز وجل. كيف بالاثنين؟ النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يعني يقول ما في أحد سيدخل الجنة بعمله، ولا أنت يا رسول الله ولا أنا، إلا أن يتغمدني الله عز وجل برحمة منه وفضل.
شيخ الآن أنت لابد أن تعمل عشان تدخل الجنة، لابد، لكن هذا العمل يعني إذا قارنته بالجنة فليس يعني جزاء له، أو ليس لا يشتريه يعني.
أحسنت، جزاك الله خيرا. Your actions, no matter how much you do, no matter how much good you do, is it worth Jannah? All your actions now, get all of your actions, is it worth 1 second in Jannah? Is it worth one handspan in Jannah? Your actions, get everything that you've done, Allah's already given you your reward and more. Yani now Allah giving you your eyesight, giving you your hearing, giving you your food, giving you this air conditioning, giving you the car that you drove here, giving you your wife or your children, giving you the ability to worship Him. Isn't that enough for the actions that you've done? That's enough and more. So you went into Jannah because you've got credit. The credit that you have, the money that you have, the good deeds that you have, it's not enough to enter the paradise. No, you will only enter the paradise through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You've done nothing worthy of earning paradise. You've done some good deeds in this dunya, yes, and Allah gave you back to you already in this dunya. That's why the kafir, no matter how much good they do, they won't have anything with Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah rewards the kafir no matter how good they are in this dunya. And that's more than enough. As for the hereafter, they'll have punishment. So for us, we don't have credit. We don't have extra credit with Allah Azza wa Jal. The good deeds that we do, out of Allah's mercy, He enters us into the paradise. Understood? Tayyib. To be fair, the levels in paradise, that is dependent on your actions. Why? Because Allah is just. Yes, He entered us as believers into the paradise. But is it fair that Allah puts the very good believer, the hard-working believer, the believer that was patient with a lot of tests and trials, like someone who was the opposite of that? There is somewhat not fairness in that. So, Allah is fair. You went into paradise except for the mercy of Allah. As for your place in paradise, what you have in paradise, that's dependent on your actions. This is part of the reason why you work hard and you work more, so you can be at a higher level and have more in the paradise. So you doing actions, this is part of your belief in the Day of Judgment. That's why we're told of the Day of Judgment. That's why we believe in the Day of Judgment. So that we can prepare for the Day of Judgment by doing good deeds so that we're successful on that day. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابُهُ بِشِمَالِهِ فَيَقُولُ يَا لَيْتَنِي لَمْ أُوتَ كِتَابِيَهْ. This inshallah Azza will delay to next week. But just like Allah Azza mentions the people of good, Allah Azza mentions the people of bad. That verse is, but as for him who will be given his record in his left hand, he will say, I wish that I had not been given my record. This is a day of extreme regret for the disbelievers. Allah Azza tells you the people of good, He tells you the people of bad, so that you can make that choice. You can make that choice. Ultimately, it's you that's going to choose which path you want to take. Allah opens the door for everyone. But those who choose not to enter His door, that's upon them. And they'll have to do, a'yadhan billah, with that consequence. Allah told you that which the people of good do and what they get in return. Allah Azza wa Jalla will also mention the people of bad and what they get in return. May Allah make us from those who are upright believers, sincerely to Him, firm upon that, and die upon it, and enter the paradise with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions of anhum, and stay away from these evil, corrupt, wicked people and their ending. هذا والله أعلم صلى الله محمد وعلى آله محمد صحبه أجمعين. Any question about anything that we mentioned, brothers?
About خطوبة دانية. Can you, like, for example, just snap the Fujin?
You can think of whatever you want in Jannah now. But when you walk, don't you want to stay close?
What does it have to be like خطوبة دانية?
Have you ever walked past like a plantation where the fruit that you want is high? How did you feel when you seen it high?
Snap it in my hand.
See, you wanted to what?
Snap it
You wanted to snap it in your hand, but could you?
in Jannah, yes.
No, now, could you? You couldn't, صح? So it was hard for you. And it maybe brought out a little bit of sadness. You don't even have that sadness in Jannah. It's nice and low for you to see it, huh? Take it. Easy, it looks easy, it is easy. عرفت؟
شيخ حديث المرء مع من أحب يوم القيامة.
طفي
هذا برضه؟ يعني حتى لو الشخص أعماله ليست كثيرة بس هو يحب مثلا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم ويحب الصحابة والصالحين يعني يكون معهم
يوم القيامة نعم. أما الجنة فهذا الله أعلم أمر آخر. لكن تكون مع المؤمنين نعم. تحب المنافقين تحشر معهم. Yeah, but for certain actions. Certain actions. And the ulama say that those who are above can come down, but you can't get up. Yeah.
So does that mean that the Prophet will come up and
يا الله الحوض نشرب من يد النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
You mentioned that when you are in Jannah, are you able to witness all the other levels?
Not the ones above. You see them like stars, but you won't be able to know what they go through because that's going to make you depressed. That's going to make you depressed. Everyone in Jannah thinks that they have the best. So if you were to actually see what they have, you would be depressed. And that's why you can't get up. You can't get up or see up. But they, Allah Alam, some ulama say, they can visit you by coming down. People that can bring you up are like the father for his children. وَالْحَقْنَا بِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُم. The father, if he's good and he's on a higher level, he can bring up like his children. The exact limits to that, Allahu Alam. But you won't feel that you're missing out. So part of that reward is those that are close to you, Allah Azza raise them up to your level. This is part of why it's important as a father to be righteous. And if their children are believers, then Allah Azza wa Jal enters them with him in paradise. But the exact limitations, Allahu Alam. Okay, what if the grandfather is very righteous, but the father is different, etc. How it works exactly, Allahu Alam. But you won't feel upset in Jannah.